The Chiefs, what you're going to be hearing a lot, just like you read, oh, Patrick Mahomes lost the third game, first time in his career. Oh, Andy Reid, this is the first time that he started 0-2, 0-3. Patrick, like, you're going to start hearing that because, they have a modern-day dynasty, and it's got holes in it. I thought the Giants had basically a walk-off touchdown. Russel with Malik Neighbors with the moon ball. He runs through the two defenders in zone defense. And the game should be over. The defense the Giants have, the rushers they have, you should be able to secure that win. This is definitely one of the worst games I've seen under Kevin O'Connell. I know he has an attack offense, but this is one of the few times that it had no pop to it. I know it's because the quarterback, because you can't attack defenses when you don't have the confidence in your quarterback. And you could tell by the play calling, you could tell by the execution that this is a young quarterback. Even though it's his second year, he didn't get all them reps in his first year, and they're going to have growing pains.
All right, guys, welcome to Fully Loaded, episode 67. I am Sean Mike. This is obviously Cris Carter. How you doing, brother?
Good, man. What's happening?
Not much, man. A lot of football. That's what's happening.
A lot of football.
Lot of football. We're gonna start with a very crazy game, and I want to give you some numbers, and I want you to talk about whatever you want to talk about that occurred in this game where the Giants and the Cowboys they combined for 77 points, scoring 41 in the fourth quarter alone. Okay. Dak Prescott, 38 of 52, 361 yards. Russell Wilson, 30 of 41 for 450 yards. Last time Russell Wilson threw for 450 yards was in 2017. Cowboys win in overtime after Wilson throws an interception and Aubrey hits a game winner. But I wanted to add a number of things. Micah Parsons not being there. What are we looking at with the Cowboys and Giants? What give us some insight on what we watched, because it was entertaining. I'll tell you that.
Well, from the Giants' perspective, I thought the Giants had basically a walk-off touchdown. Russell with Malik Neighbors with the moon ball. He runs through the two defenders in zone defense. And the game should be over. I mean, with the defense the Giants have, the rushers they have, you should be able to secure that win. So that was the first thing, and I thought until that point, Russ had played brilliant. It was like someone else had gotten into his body, and they were throwing the ball. Dayball was dialing it up with a hell of a confidence within their passing game. Malik Neighbors is a superstar, like he is that type of talented. If you look at him, the kid in Jacksonville, they're just like Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase. So LSU has four of the top, receivers in the National Football League, with two of them being up-and-comers. The other two are the highest paid, too. So Dallas's defense, awful. Mm-hmm. They're going to be awful. Dak's going to throw for 5,000 yards this year.
How many games is he going to win? You were guessing.
9 and 8. I don't think they can win double-digit wins.
It's a lot of yards to not win 10 games.
No, well, that defense is awful. They're not going to have a consistent pass rush. Their defenders, man, they're not going to specialize in zone, man, but they're going to specialize in giving up a lot of points. Dallas's defenders are going to chase a lot of people into the end zone.
I thought Jerry made the defense better, bro. I thought trading Micah, he made it better.
Jerry made the statement 2 weeks ago that this opened up the window during Dak's tenure for the Super Bowl, because now they have all these resources. It might have cracked the window, but it shut the garage door. It shut every other hope. There's no oxygen in that damn building. Okay.
There's no shot.
No shot. No shot. There's no team in the NFL in the modern day that has a defense that looks like that. When you sign Jadeveon Clowney week number 3 to bolster your pass rush, like,
you got a problem.
Yeah, you got more than a problem. You got oxygen. There's a fatality getting ready to happen.
And the Giants still found a way to lose the game.
The Giants found a way to lose the game because most NFL games are lost, not won. I'll say that again. Most NFL games are lost, not won. And when you have a young team that's not used to winning, they find a way to lose the game late. Like, man, they should be able to get a stop, get on and off the field so the guy doesn't have to kick a 60-yard field goal. I mean, that right there, they've lost a lot of games the last several years because of things just like that. Just like that. And then Russ, you would think at 400 yards he would be sitting back chilling, but no, he has to try to force one down. They intercept that one. The defense didn't do anything. They got in the way of the pass, intercepted it, and then, of course, they kick a field goal to end.
You throw for 450 yards and lose.
Yes.
That's a tough day.
Mm-hmm.
Tough beat. All right, so Aaron Rodgers, the NFL's very interesting how the shit always works out. He just tied Brett Favre for fourth all-time with 508 touchdown passes. So you got 10-1. You got Stafford, 378. Matt Ryan, I didn't know was in the top 10, 381. Roethlisberger, 418. Marino, 420. Rivers, 421. Now you got Rodgers, 508. Favre, 508. Manning, 539. Breeze, 571. And Brady, 649. Does he have any chance to catch up to Manning or to Breeze, or is
how many is it away?
He's 31 away from Manning.
No.
So he'll end up fourth ahead of Favre, push Favre to fifth because he's going to pass him, obviously.
Yeah, that'd be very satisfying for him.
I think it would be, right? Isn't it weird how this shit works out?
Yeah.
You tell me he ain't paid attention to that?
Yes. I think the number, Andrew, I want you to look up how many interceptions Brett Favre threw compared to Aaron Rodgers.
2001.
Because it's amazing.
A lot.
Right.
It's a lot.
We get the same touchdowns.
Yeah.
Played around the same amount of time. You look at the number of interceptions, let you know how much a better of a quarterback Aaron Rodgers.
Here's a question I got for you. Matthew Stafford's 10th at 378. What are the odds Matthew Stafford ever gets up near that 500 number?
Man, he barely making it this season, bro. He was in the doctor's office before the season started, dog.
He got no shot there.
He got 30 left, and like I would.
He got the 400 maybe. Okay.
Yes.
No shot at anything else.
336 interceptions.
People were open. The defensive backs were open, dude. 336 interceptions. That's impressive. Rodgers only thrown 116. Wow. But they call him a gunslinger, right? He slinged it. He threw the ball everywhere. 336 interceptions.
Tom Brady. They asked him who was the best quarterback or something like that, or a reference to quarterbacks that you like. He said, Aaron Rodgers is the best thrower of the football ever.
Ever.
And this is the way he described it. If I wanted to get the ball from point A to point B, he's the best that's ever done it.
Wow.
Now, that's the greatest compliment Aaron Rodgers will ever have in his life. And because of who it's coming from. Getting the football from point A to point B, he did it better than anyone else.
It's impressive.
Yes.
So Favre has 508 touchdown passes and 336 interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
Damn. He got his money's worth, bro. He threw the ball. You can see why he frustrated his coaches.
Yeah.
All right. Seattle Seahawks rallied to beat the Steelers 31-17 on Sunday with the help of a 17-point fourth quarter that included a stranger touchdown you'll see. So after Seattle took a 17-14 lead, Jason Myers field goal, kickoff to bounce over his head and into the end zone as Johnson ran back towards the Steelers sideline, apparently believing the play would be called dead. Seattle continued to cover the kick and back up. George Halani fell on the ball before it rolled out of the back of the end zone for a touchdown. That's insane. Okay. It wasn't clear where the ball was touched, yada, yada, yada. Seattle's Sam Darnold intercepted twice in the first half. One come out on a flip throw. He threw 3 touchdown passes to tight end A.J. Barner, rookie receiver. They're both 1-1. Sam Darnold was 22 of 33 for 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rodgers 18 of 33 for 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. So what do you think about Seattle and Steelers? What's just tell us about each one of those teams moving forward?
Man, Seattle. Wow, with Sam Darnold. Mm-hmm. Like I didn't hear anyone in the preseason mentioning Seattle for anything besides, do you think that they're better than Arizona as far as the worst team in that division? I think that people thought all the success with Sam Darnold was based on the location, the coach, and the receiving corps, especially the specialist that they have there, Justin Jefferson, with all his success in Minnesota. So people didn't give him any credit. But Sam Darnold looked very, very similar to what he looked last year. Very, very great pickup by them for the number for which they got for him. Traded Geno Smith away to Pete Carroll there with the Raiders. So I think Seattle, man, they're on the right track. They got some good players playing on their defense. Their receiving core, it allows Jackson Smith and Jigma. I think he had 9 or 8 receptions week number 1, 7 week number 2. It allows him, a former Ohio State receiver, to begin to emerge after being nicked his first couple years in the NFL to be the superstar, the go-to receiver now that they traded DK Metcalf. Pittsburgh, man, it's going to be interesting. I didn't think that their defense would be able to give up that many points at home, especially to Seattle.
Yeah.
So I'm a little puzzled by, how good they're going to be. I think they'll win double-digit wins and just barely get into the playoffs, 10-7. I think they're a 10-7 team. I think Aaron Rodgers will have a good season, and I do think this will be his last season.
Okay. Joe Burrow's out. Toe injury, could miss several weeks. Second quarter of the team's home opener against Jacksonville. Bengals announced at halftime his return was questionable. Obviously, he didn't. He was downgraded to out during the third quarter. Fox 19's Jeremy Rosh, he supposedly knows that he's got torn ligaments. And you ever had a turf toe? You ever had an injury?
I didn't tear the ligament. I've been able to, I've strained the ligaments. But that's one of those things like Dion had, a problem that he had with his toe.
So what do you think? You would think Joe's going to be out for a while?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yes.
A while, like the season?
Yes. I think he's out for the season.
So what happens to the Bengals?
Well, I'm sure they would like to get in the time machine and go back maybe 30 or 40 days when they decide to, pay all that money to the wide receivers and build the team where it's really like, and they gave him a little more money for this year, like a 1-year deal. Mm-hmm. It was like they were like, we're all in for this year. I mean, they're in for a long season. Mm. They're in for a long season. And, you really start to question Joe Burrows and his overall health. Season number 2 takes him to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But since then, it's been like, Joe's hurt. Man, Joe's nicked. Joe's hurt. So to me, he's one of the most talented quarterbacks, maybe the purest thrower that we have, especially with the younger quarterbacks, of throwing the football. Because all the other quarterbacks, when we talk about this stuff, we talk about them being a dual threat. The top 5 quarterbacks. I always put Jalen Hurts there because he wins. Mm-hmm. But Patrick Mahomes, dual threat with his legs. Lamar and my man in Buffalo.
Josh, yeah.
He is the only pure thrower of them. And he can win any throwing contest. He can throw it low. He can throw it high. He can put variances on it. Great thrower of the football. Like, it's one of those kind of things when you get with certain franchises, it's like, man, this guy's career, will it be compromised because of this franchise? And that's what we'll continue to ask ourselves with Joe Burrow and the Bengals.
Dude, what do you think? I've always wondered this. Dudes that are injury prone, whatever that means, is it just damn bad luck? I mean, if it's the same injury, I get it. Like, the dude's got a bad whatever. But some dudes they just get injured?
Some guys get injured more than others. Mm-hmm. And there are also other guys that just have bad luck.
Because what's a toe? Is there something you could do to better condition yourself to not get a turf toe?
No. The type of shoes and stuff you wear, that could be problematic. But typically in a situation like this, it's where you're trying to push off and something happens. Either someone steps on your foot or your foot is off the ground this way and someone hits your leg while your toe's off. That ligament right there is taking all the pressure, on the big toe. And the feet they're some of the worst things to ever get hurt because of poor circulation, the distance it is away from your heart to be able to pump good blood in there. So, and you need them. There's no way you can protect your feet because you're on them all day, every day. So this is an injury that we need to watch, and he's very, very fortunate that he's the quarterback compared to any of the other skill positions because it could ultimately alter his career.
All right, so Chiefs 0-2, first time since 2014. Mahomes has lost 3 games in a row for the first time in the NFL if you count last year's Super Bowl. The biggest difference between the two teams in this day was the game's only turnover. The turnover was a result of a juggled pass by Kelce that was picked off by Eagles safety Andrew Makuba.
Yeah, it wasn't juggled. He dropped it.
He just dropped it. Yeah, they say juggle on the article, but okay. Down 20-10, Patrick Mahomes gave the Chiefs hope late. 49-yard bomb to Tyquan Thornton, but it was a little too late. Your thoughts on both of those franchises as of today, the Eagles and the Chiefs?
I thought the Chiefs' defense played amazing. Very, very physical game. Very, very physical game. Very physical. And offensively, all the passes were short for the most part besides the bomb late. And they really missed Rashee Rice. I mean, he's going to be a superstar for them, but that's 6 games based on him doing something in a car, immature. It's going to affect their season. It's going to affect their seeding in the playoffs. And ultimately, it's going to affect their confidence, especially of that offensive line.
Yeah.
You know, the offensive line is significantly better than it was last year. And but the Chiefs, what you're going to be hearing a lot, just like you read, Patrick Mahomes lost the 3rd game, first time in his career. Andy Reid, this is the first time that he started 0-2, 0-3. Patrick, like, you're going to start hearing that because, you know, they have a modern-day dynasty. And it's got holes in it, and especially, you know, their second-best receiver, Worthy, he's out because Travis Kelce
knocked him
out. Not running the wrong route, but doing a lot of Travis Kelce things, running at the wrong depth. Like his attention to detail, even as one of the greatest tight ends, it should be significantly higher. But he does a lot of freelance stuff, things he's been able to get away with.
When he was younger.
Yes.
Yeah.
And because earlier in his career, a lot of those things worked. They call him a field player. Like, he's got a certain route, but he's got a feel based on the defense. He might sit down. He might, you know, accelerate. And those things are nice until you start to get older. And then people can't predict because you can't get from spot A to spot B. Or you start trying to push, and then you're not playing at the level that you used to play at because you're not the same player.
Correct.
And that's what we see with Travis Kelce. Philadelphia, you got to like where they are. Now, their wide receivers, they might not be happy. First two games, 100 and something yards passing, like not getting a lot of targets. But, you know, from an unselfish standpoint, they can win a lot of different ways. NFL is a matchup league. They match up well with everybody because their offense and defensive lines are good.
Okay.
Their secondary, you know, is where they have question marks at, and, you know, how good that's going to be. We know they can run the ball. We know they can throw the ball when they have to. Their weapons outside are second to none. So they match up well with everyone. I do believe that the NFL, they had an opportunity this offseason as far as with the tush push to ban the tush push, and you can see there's some problems with it. For one, the league can't say that we're about safety and allow, let me see, tight end 7, 8, 9, 14 to 18 guys to get in a scrum formation. And when they lunge, the first thing you hit is your top of your head or your neck.
Yeah, crown of your head, yep.
And the one thing they tell us is always have your head up when you go to strike someone. This is totally different. Everyone's down, and this is low man wins. So everyone is firing down. No one's firing up. Proper technique, you know, hips up underneath you, shoulders wide, big wide. No. It's submarine, and then now, as you can see, in yesterday's game, Philadelphia's offensive line, they've been jumping the snap count.
Yeah.
So they got a huge advantage. I mean, huge. I mean, they jumped the snap count twice, and it wasn't called. So, you know, what's the league going to do?
Why did the league not ban it?
They couldn't get enough support from the owners.
Why?
I think they attacked it the wrong way. I think that, what they were trying to argue, and I think that what they should have argued was it's an impossible play for the referees to
officiate
Yes.
appropriately. Yeah, you can't do it.
It's impossible. And not only where the spot of the ball is, but now that we saw it twice, jumping offside, if they can't call that, I mean, you can't have the play. Mm-hmm. It's not a safe play, and it's a play that can't be officiated the proper way. And I believe that's the way to be able to get out. And to me, it's not a Philly thing. It's a football thing. And when you start to see that one team has an advantage by specifically putting the other people in harm's way, because Kansas City can't protect themselves because they got a guy that's already going to target low. So I got to get lower than this guy. So I got to do something illegal. Mm-hmm. So now you got two teams doing something that the league ruled was illegal. Mm-hmm. So we'll see.
And it ain't bad enough, and then you jump the count.
Yes.
You got no shot on defense.
Well, if you jump the count and I'm sitting in my stance and you come and target me and hit me right in the head.
It's a wrap. Yeah.
That's what happened yesterday.
Right. Crazy. All right, I'm going to read you some scores of the games. I want you to get any insight you have in these individual games, the ones we haven't talked about yet. All right, so we got the Browns and Ravens. The Ravens blew the Browns out. You're not surprised about that at all. 41-17.
I love the bounce back from Baltimore. After a horrific loss there, in Buffalo, how you going to bounce back? And they bounce back. We're better than you. We're going to squash you, embarrass you, and that's what they did to them.
Browns, if Flacco's still going to roll for a while, we're going to see Gabriel anytime soon if they get to be.
I mean, we saw him in wrap-up. He got
wrap
some.
Up, yeah.
He got some.
But we're going to see him in the starting slot for Flacco, him or Shador sometime this season.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't keep going on and on and on.
How many games do you think that takes?
I think it probably takes maybe 2 or 3 more games.
Got it.
I still have the same prediction that I had for Shador early when they drafted him, that I believe by Halloween he'll be playing.
Yeah.
So
how did Gabriel play yesterday?
I mean, I didn't watch him enough. They were killing it by the time I had it on the
pull up what he did, Drew. Dylan Gabriel yesterday, the Browns. I know it was only a little bit, but so no surprise there. We think we're on the same clock, and by Halloween we'll see Shador Sanders playing because Gabriel's not going to go in and turn it up.
Well, this is the only thing that would change. I thought Shador at this time would be the backup, which would ensure when they made the change. Now, Dylan Gabriel, he's going to have a stretch too. They're going to allow him to play.
Correct. Did you see what he did, Drew? What did Gabriel do what did he do?
I think
19 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions.
19 yards, 1 touchdown. Okay. So he played. Okay, he played a little bit. Okay, so that's where we are with the Browns.
Also, I read an article about Shador. Baltimore called him in the fifth round. They called him, said, "Hey, Shador, we're going to draft you." And his representation told Baltimore that he didn't have an interest in coming there because Lamar, 2-time MVP, was so young, and that I would never really have an opportunity to play.
I saw that. Yeah.
So it's amazing that even in the 5th round, you still have leverage in that how that communication worked. And then Cleveland traded up in the 5th to be able to draft him.
Correct.
So there must have been circulation around communication in the NFL world that, hey, somebody's going to, after the 4th, they go on by.
Grab him.
Somebody's going to grab him.
And if you got a potentially open quarterback slot, he'll be interesting.
Yeah, and I do think that Shador making that demand that Lamar and their styles are so different. So typically the backup in Baltimore is going to be a guy that can run.
Correct. And how do you mentor? I mean, he ain't ever going to do any of the things or attempt to do anything Lamar's doing.
No,
back in the
but
pocket.
From a business standpoint, that was mature also.
Good business decision.
Yes.
Okay.
It was very good.
So you're good with that? Good
yeah,
business
no, absolutely.
Decision.
Very good business.
All right, how about the Niners and Saints? Niners snuck that one out. Anything stick out in that game?
McCaffrey was healthy.
Right?
McCaffrey had over 100 yards total offense with that calf and all the other injuries that anytime you can win on the road. But, the Saints, the conversation we'll be having about the Saints is, okay, when are they going to go to the other quarterback, Tyler Sloth, who they drafted this year, or are the Saints the worst team in the league?
Correct.
Because they're going to be battling for that.
Okay. Well, the Lions, everybody's worried about what happened to them week 1. They rebounded a little bit, 52-21 against the Bears. What do you think?
The Lions took it personal. Not only they're beat down in week number 1, they were going to bounce back, but it was great because the foe was someone who they say publicly they like, but they have a distaste for him because he decided to go to a place where now you got to face me twice.
Yeah.
The players in their interviews after the game thought it was maybe a little disrespectful to think that you could go to Chicago and turn it around against us. Mm-hmm. So the players are like, no problem.
Yeah.
We'll face you twice a year. And, man, they got a huge challenge because that challenge in trying to change Caleb and make him a pocket passer, that's going to be – it can be done. But it takes a lot of discipline, and you're not expecting to come back to your place and get smacked like that.
Dude, and there was a lot of hype, man. I mean, like I said, he was the anointed. You know, he was going to save the world over there. And hey, I'm sure he'll do well. But don't mess.
Maybe
with
we
the
should
Lions.
get the Pope to go visit him because the Pope, you know, he's from Chicago and everything to bless the baby.
They're gonna need some blessings, no doubt about it. Cardinals snuck one out against another team that might be at the bottom. Talking about the Panthers. 27, but they won at home. Mm-hmm. And any thoughts on that game?
Kyler Murray had moments in the game. He looked brilliant.
Yeah.
Looked brilliant throwing the ball. And I do believe that the Cardinals are a little bit improved too. So that's going to be a tough little battle there. Them, Seattle, the Rams. That's going to be 49ers. Like, I don't know who's going to be at the bottom. And I don't believe that anyone wants to face the team that's going to be at the bottom on a regular basis.
Mm-hmm. All right, so your Vikings, Atlanta ran for 218 yards. McCarthy had a tough day, 11-20, 158 yards, 2 interceptions, and he fumbled the ball. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on what's going on in Minnesota?
Well, first of all, the Vikings had a couple defensive starters that were out, but
okay.
This is definitely one of the worst games I've seen under Kevin O'Connell, because I know he has an attack offense, but this is one of the few times that it had no pop to it.
Yeah.
And I know the reason why, and I know it's because of the quarterback, because you can't attack defenses when you don't have the confidence in your quarterback. And you could tell by the play calling, you could tell by the execution that this is a young quarterback. Even though it's his second year, he didn't get all them reps in his first year, and they're going to have growing pains. They've played 8 quarters of football, and they have played maybe 10 good minutes of offensive football, maybe 10 minutes. Like, it's been a struggle for them offensively. Justin Jefferson didn't touch the ball the second half, typically indoors, because you have a young quarterback. Mm-hmm. Or you're getting manhandled in the offensive line, and both of those things happen. Their star left tackle has been out the first 2 games, injured his knee last year, and hadn't come back yet. They miss him. Their center, Kelce from Indianapolis, they got in free agency. He got hurt earlier in the game, so they got manhandled. This was not a performance that the Vikings fans would be happy about.
And you said it earlier when we was on live. Like, it just hit me when you said it about JJ. Like, dude, he's been on all these teams that ran the ball a lot of times.
Well, the only reason why I say that is because you have to look at a person's history.
Yeah.
Like, some of these kids been doing no huddle offense.
That's what I'm talking about.
Since they 7-on-7, since they 12 years old.
Correct.
So, yes, you can be a winner, but you can also be on the best teams.
Correct.
And he has a resume that in high school,
correct,
he was on the best team.
Yeah.
He was in college. He was on the best team. Even one of his college games where he was a starter, they did not throw a pass. Not because of rain, wind,
correct,
because they were that much better.
Correct. But to your point, like, now it'd be like you're a blocker your whole life at tight end, and they're like, bro, we need to catch some passes.
No, it happens.
And it's hard, right?
It happens. Wisconsin.
Yeah.
They run the ball. Their offensive linemen, once they get into a sophisticated passing game in the pros, it's an adjustment.
Yeah.
It is a huge adjustment.
And now at the end of the game, instead of him going, I'm going to hand the ball off, they're like, it's on you.
No, absolutely. No,
We need you.
Yes.
We need you to bring us down. We got 84 yards to go.
It's a team sport, but
yeah.
there's a me in team.
Yeah,
okay?
There's a lot of me in quarterback.
Yes. They don't want to hear that when they're getting all the credit. But
Correct.
When the blame, they want to say, hey, let's start spreading that thing around.
100%. All right, what do you think about – all right, so let's go with tonight's games. We got Buccaneers, Texans laying 2.5. Who do you like?
I'm going to go with Tampa Bay because Houston just has not shown consistently they can protect C.J. Stroud.
Okay.
Great young quarterbacks making an adjustment as the face of the franchise. You know, you don't want him to digress, but when you have defenders sitting in your lap, it's hard for a quarterback to continue to grow. We need to watch C.J. Stroud in his development and see how that offensive line, lack of a great offensive line, how it affects his development.
Okay. Chargers, Raiders. Raiders are getting 3.5 at home.
Chargers.
Okay. Big?
I'm not going to say big because it's a divisional game, but, you know, I've been to a couple games in Vegas. Whoever's the visiting team is the home team.
Yeah.
Because they bring 30,000.
What they do. Yes.
You know, so on a Monday night, people getting in the car, short flight, you know, from L.A., and they've been off, you know, after a great week number one.
They're ready. They're ready.
I believe on the flip side, you know, McCarthy, he played under Jim Harbaugh. Harbaugh, I believe this is the best passing attack he's ever had as a head coach because he's a knockdown, drag it out. You know, his first stint, San Francisco, they were a running football team. They were not a great passing football team. Went to Michigan, never threw the ball well. But with Justin Herbert, you got to be able to throw the ball well. So to me, how he develops Justin Herbert and that passing attack, those are the things I'll be watching because he didn't necessarily, that wasn't his specialty before, but for them to reach their potential, it's going to have to be in.
Okay. I'm not even going to disrespect you and ask you who's going to win this game. I'm going to ask Drew, who's never on camera. Drew, who's going to win? The Dolphins at the Bills. Who wins that Thursday night? Bills. We could ask the Shark. Hold on. Ask the Eel.
The Dolphins can win that game.
The Dolphins can win this game. I got it. I'm going to shut up. Go ahead.
If they send the invitation to the Bills and tell the Bills the game's really on Wednesday.
I don't think the Bills are going to fall for that.
No. But the game's on Wednesday. The game's been moved up. Bad weather approaching the Buffalo area.
You got to get out.
The game's been moved up to Wednesday.
You got to get out. All right, here's our September 21st, next week's matchups. Green Bay at Cleveland. Who do you like?
Green Bay.
Indy at Tennessee.
Indy.
Cincy at Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Pittsburgh at New England.
Pittsburgh.
L.A. at Philadelphia.
Philly.
New York at Tampa Bay.
The Jets.
I'm sorry, my bad. I'm sorry, Jets.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah, one. Okay.
Short week. Let's go.
Vegas at Washington.
Washington.
Atlanta at Carolina.
Atlanta.
Houston at Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
Denver at the Chargers.
Chargers go through.
New Orleans at Seattle.
Seattle.
Ooh, Dallas at Chicago. Who'd land on?
Dallas scores late. Big.
Dak throws for 712 yards.
High-scoring game.
They win 82-79.
Yeah.
Arizona at San Francisco.
San Fran.
Kansas City at the New York Football Giants.
Oh, yeah, Kansas City gets well.
All right. College football real quick. All right, so Notre Dame 0-2. They're still in the top 25. And I want to give you Ohio State, Penn State, LSU, Miami, Georgia, Oregon, Florida State, Texas, Illinois, A&M. You still believe Ohio State's the class of the college season? That if you had to pick a favorite to win a national championship, in Ohio State.
Yes.
Okay. Give me the two teams that give them that would give them the best game if they played them in the college football playoffs.
Oregon and Georgia.
Oregon. Okay. Why Oregon?
They're a talented team.
Okay.
No, people forget because Ohio State embarrassed them in the playoffs. But they were undefeated. They were number one all year. Mm-hmm. You know, them and Ohio State had an amazing game earlier in the season last year, and they were the number one seed in the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Now Ohio State boat raced them in the Rose Bowl.
Yeah,
and people forgot that. They got a lot of good players. They have, and I don't want to say it too loud because the coach get upset. I mean, they basically have unlimited NIL.
Well, if it's the truth, it's okay to say that.
But the teams, when they come in, Oklahoma State talked about their team is better because they spent more money on their team than I do, and they end up they took offense to it.
They did not like that.
They did not,
and they penalized him for it, punished him.
He said, "We spend our money on good players."
They got a lot of money to go grocery shopping. They do a good job.
Yes,
they do a good job.
Phil Knight opened up his wallet and tried to bring a national championship to Oregon, where he went to school, and they have stole a couple 5-star players. Like, they got a great situation.
Okay. Be interesting to see. All right, let's get to comments. Mm-hmm. SFane333, this might be my favorite one so far. Cris Carter was in my Communications 209 class at Ohio State. Okay, I just like it. That's history.
I think I got to be in that class. What'd you get?
I don't know. SFane, what did you get in that class?
Yes.
Did you get a better grade than Cris Carter did? George Hunt.
And I was in attendance in that class. That was my major. That's why I'm
Communications, yeah. You and every other athlete. Yeah.
No.
Everybody on my baseball team is
they're in
communications
PE
major.
Or education, not communication.
Okay, I mean a lot of
That's right up under
major.
the business degree.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
George
you
Hunt.
got to be able to communicate, bro.
You can definitely communicate. George Hunt, 6566. Hey, Chris, do you feel Stanley Morgan should be in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Okay. JRS5WS, an NFL GM for 30 years that hasn't had his team go to an NFC championship game is a certified failure. He's got that in all caps, so he's pretty fired up about that.
A certified. That's Jerry Jones.
Yes, that's Jerry Jones.
Yeah.
He called him a certified failure. But
but he owns the team though too, and they've made a lot of money.
We've talked. Yeah, but as a GM, he's a failure. But he's made a lot of money as an owner. Bakowski, D Media. Buffalo beat Baltimore. Baltimore is built to be a bully, but a bully that clams up when somebody hits back. And Buffalo suplexed their butts in the fourth quarter.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
WWE style.
You know, he got everything in there, all right? Ben Smith, YP.
Does he know that wrestling's make-believe?
Now he knows. You shouldn't have told him. But a suplex is still a suplex.
I mean, because people might say that, Buffalo's Super Bowl aspirations have been make-believe.
Oh, like pretend. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Be careful.
That was scary. Be careful. It's a slippery slope. They call that. All right. Ben Smith, YP2YD. They always blame Zay or Andrews, but Lamar has not met the moment in playoffs. And in playoffs, Ravens defense only gives up an average of 17 points a game. In the AFC Championship game against KC, down 17-10 in the fourth quarter, Lamar threw an interception and triple coverage to essentially end the game, but they blamed Zay Flowers. 2020 playoff game, Buffalo late in the game, 10-3. Lamar threw a 98-yard pick six, lose 17-3. Even in the other losses in playoffs, you can point to Lamar turns over the ball, or Lamar's turnover is the reason that they lose, but everybody else gets the blame. What are your thoughts on that?
That's not true.
That's just not true.
He's just trying to paint a case for Lamar. But when you have the ball in overtime in your hands and you drop the ball, like, you are part of the blame. All right? Lamar delivered the ball to you. Mm-hmm. Zay Flowers, he fumbled the ball going into the end zone. That's not the quarterback's fault. Mm-hmm. Did he play a perfect game? No. But he played well enough in those games
to win.
Especially those last two losses.
Yeah.
Especially.
Okay. Andre Oates, 8405. Tyreek Hill is already crashing out. He got money issues. His former wife and baby mamas are taking him to the bank. I think the Dolphins pay that quarterback with injuring thrown, guaranteed money. It's going to be a long season for them, and the coach should start packing his stuff up because he's definitely in the line of firing him. He's not going to make it. I'll give it 3 games. They're going to lose all of them, and he's out. Well, they are 0-2, and after the Bills play, unless Chris is right and they go on Wednesday instead of Thursday, they're going to be 0-3. Any thoughts on
everything that you have said on the record and off the record? And you're more concerned about the women issues because, a guy who don't handle that the right way, that will alter your career. So handle your girls. Mm-hmm. All right?
Okay.
The coach is – I don't believe he's on the hot seat because he's taking the team to 2 playoffs. But Tua, yes, he's injury prone. And why don't they try to fortify the offensive line if you know you got a quarterback that's injury prone?
I would agree with that. Ahmad Ferris, 9083. The show is perfect lead into Monday Night Football. We're doing our live Monday morning at 8 a.m. from now on. We love you, though. We just that's what we're going to do.
That's a little taster.
Yeah, that's right.
But the mornings are going to be better.
Much better.
For real traffic, real football fans. They just need to know where we are and what time we're going to be there. Why should we battle all the pregame shows that people are spending millions and millions of dollars on that they're not saying nothing? How I know? Because I used to do that. We used to say something. I watch now. Sometimes they say nothing.
It's a show of nothing. It's a show about absolutely nothing. It's like the old Seinfeld thing. It's about absolutely nothing. What's the show about? Absolutely nothing. We just get out of here. He ends with A1 content, fellas. Thank you. And War Eagle. So go Auburn, bro.
Let's go.
You're in the top 25 and you're rolling. So we'll see. Hey, we really appreciate you getting on. CInci, love you. Appreciate everything you bring every week. The entertainment, the value, the information. Roll with some of those picks. See what happens. We'll see you all next Monday, 8 a.m. live for 30 minutes. And the pod drops every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. So thank you for joining us on Fully Loaded. We appreciate y'all.